This video is going to be about the battery and the charging system from this Mini One with a diesel engine. We're going to do a voltage drop test, we're going to test the battery, and then we will see if this car needs to register the new battery when you change it. On the passenger side, we've got the alternator down here and also the battery under this cover. So one of the most common problems is that the alternator is not charging the battery, so it's worth to check out this connection here. This is the main 12-volt line which delivers the power to the battery, and it should be a good connection in here. There shouldn't be any corrosion. Also make sure that this connector is on, because this is the one which delivers 12 volts. The alternator will multiply it and then deliver it to the battery. So if you want to test the battery, it's quite easy to get access to the terminals. But let's take out this cover because we're going to remove the battery. So we've got 760 cold cranking amps. So let's see. And as you can see, the life of it is 45%, even though it's fully charged. And we've got here 571 cold cranking amps. This is 200 less than it should. Now I'm going to start the car and I will see how much the voltage will drop. So this is pretty similar with the cold cranking amp test, only this time you need to watch the voltage to not drop below 10. If it drops below 10, then the battery needs replacement for sure. If the battery drops below 10.5, let's say, you still need to replace the battery as soon as you can. And finally, if the voltage doesn't drop below 11.5 volts, then the battery is almost like new, in good condition. Now with the same voltmeter, we can do a voltage drop test. On this car it's very easy. We can connect the other terminal to the alternator, have a good connection in here on this main thick wire. Now a significant voltage drop is going to be something above 0.5 volts. Most of the time it's just a bad connection with rust. Rust will create a resistance, therefore not all the amount of electricity is going to be able to travel to the battery. Now before I start the engine, let me tell you a little secret. If let's say the battery is bad, the alternator will need to work extra for a long period of time, and this is very hard to get detected because you need to test the battery in order to find out if the battery is bad. Because let's say you drive the car every day, you start it up, the battery doesn't have time to show you that it's bad by completely discharging. So after a while, when the alternator cannot keep up to charge the battery, the voltage regulator or the alternator itself might fail as well, and you will not know exactly what happened. So that's why it's very important to keep an eye on the battery, do regular checks. It's very easy, it takes a couple of minutes, and you can do this every month or so. You can even write down on the paper the results, for example, when you did the last oil change, coolant change, battery check, filters, and so on. Okay, the results from the voltage drops are very good. Now let's go ahead and remove the battery. One easy trick is to supply the terminals with 12 volts. I've got here a small 12-volt battery, and from this point, if you use a small one especially, make sure that there are no lights on, the car is locked, so nothing can draw the power from the battery. In that way you keep the computer on, and you're gonna find the bracket down there. Now keep in mind that it's not absolutely necessary to keep the computer on, but I like to do that because it makes things a lot easier. I would rather keep the battery on than having to reset stuff from the car. So now the battery is free to move. With the same 10mm, let's disconnect the negative side, and you can see if I retouch the terminal, you don't see any spark. Let's wiggle this out. First unplug this vent hose. Alright. If you want, you can give a nice clean in here to prevent rust and rats making home in here, because they are usually gathering stuff in here. Now for some reason there is an O-ring here for this bracket bolt, so make sure that the O-ring is there. And you can begin to struggle to insert the new battery on. Finally, let's connect our scan tool to the OBD2 port. Let's put the keys in the second position. And let's see, maintenance, battery, Europe, got mini, smart VIN, yes. So let's say it's gonna read data. Special functions, evaluate the battery. Register battery exchange. Display. Okay, so it looks like the battery was original. As you can see, theoretically you can register the battery exchange, but this is just to keep a track of service history. It has nothing to do with the power delivery or anything related to the computer. So if you don't have a scan tool, it's not necessary to do that. Just keep in mind that you have to replace the battery with the same specs. This one is a 75 amp hour and 760 cold cranking amps. Okay guys, so that's how I replace the battery on this car. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And until next time, drive safe, take care, and I will see you in the next video.